optimization, pay-per-click, web development, and we are based in Northwest London, and we are running for more than 2 years.
Hello, my name is Julian Hall. I am the director and co-founder of a company called Pure Online Genius. We're based in the city in Old Street, and we are a full-service marketing company dealing with everything from SEO down to PPC, usability, emails, that kind of thing. And we also look after web development as well.
Hi, my name is Mark Buckingham. I run netseek.co.uk, search marketing agency, and I'm also co-director of Good Cause Auctions, the UK's only high-profile charity management company on eBay thus far.
I'm Sean Ryan from SLI Systems. We specialise in site search. Most of our customers in the US, but we've got a growing base of customers here in the UK.
Thanks, guys. Right, hand in the air. Who should we start with? Okay, make this easy. Come on. How much for surgery now with us? Can we wait for the mic? Oh, sorry, we'll start with you first.
As somebody that knows nothing about search engine optimization but runs a couple of eBay shops, what would each of you suggest as the top 3 things to do to try and get that placed as well as possible without spending a vast amount of money?
So SEO top tips for the beginner. Start with you, Sean.
Okay. I actually know very little about eBay shops themselves.
So general tips will be valid.
But general tips, I suppose the first, SEO 101 is you need to make your page crawlable. So you need to have URLs that search engines can follow. You need to make sure your robots.txt file. In fact, if you don't know anything about search engine optimization, you probably don't know what a robots.txt file is. That's a file you have on your server that tells the search engines which pages they're allowed to crawl. And so you need to make sure that file is not blocking the spiders from crawling any relevant pages. The other, so 1, make your pages crawlable. 2, you want to do some keyword research, so work out which keywords you want to rank for in Google and the other search engines. In fact, I think we can just say Google and the other search engines is a little redundant. And another really good tip is to put the keywords into the title of the pages. It's sort of, because what happens is when Google's ranking the pages with using their algorithm, if the keyword's in the title, then it puts more weight on those keywords that are in the title. So that helps with the ranking. Very simple, but it makes a big difference.
So Mark, you're an experienced eBay seller, so you might have an eBay perspective.
Can I just understand, if you're looking to see how you can improve your SEO from your eBay shop, is that, if I understand you correctly?
We run 2 eBay shops, and if I look in Omniture on the back end, we get quite a lot of referral from Google search.
Right.
But quite often when I look on Google search, we're on the 3rd or the 4th page, which I think in Google search terms is probably like being out in the car park. And I just wondered, if there were any sort of simple basic rules that we should ensure we were following.
To see how you can boost your eBay presence or your website presence?
This is with eBay at the moment,
within
eBay.
eBay.
To websites, but we have certain products. We do a Gbase feed, because they've got a bit of software to feed your shop into Gbase. But we don't really do anything with words as such.
Sure. I obviously, without having seen your website, it's very hard to comment. I presume there's a fairly kind of good coverage of text on your website, and your site is reasonably optimised in itself. So that's obviously imperative, and certainly to understand, have a good look and scour through your traffic reports and metrics on eBay and see if you can kind of correlate that with your website. And consider paid search, certainly perhaps pointing to your shop page or your About Me page is just one option. Really understand your kind of visitors, I'm sure you do already, and see again if you can correspond that with your web pages, and just ensure that your website is sensibly organised. I'm sure we'll go through some other tips as we go on.
Yeah, general SEO really can apply across a number of different marketing techniques. So if you think about what your visitors are trying to do when they actually get to your shop, a lot of those things are the same ranking criteria that Google would use. So one thing Google really loves is fresh content. So you'll find that if you're selling the same thing as a few other people, it would be of benefit to maybe get some user-generated content in on there to kind of differentiate your page. So if that's reviews, you know, or ratings, that kind of thing, just to kind of give your page some kind of differentiation so that it stands out from the Google crowd, as it were. That will help. I think Sean and Mark touched on some very good points, making sure that the content is optimized. So things like the title. So if you're selling something, be it a digital camera, you know, what kind of keywords are people using to actually, you know, to look for those things. You know, some of us might be experts in selling these things offline, but what are people actually searching for online? So you can use the Google AdWords tool. It's kind of, if you do a search for Google external tool, you'll see a tool which will pop up, and you can put a keyword in there, and Google will come back and tell you how many people are searching for particular keywords in and around that kind of key phrase, and it will give you a pretty good idea of, you know, what people's mindsets are when they're actually performing a Google search.
Can I just add, really pays to focus on the niche as well. I mean, we all know the web is saturated in a sea of you know, very kind of generic listings, and I don't know what you're selling, but really focus on the niche, or as they say, the long tail.
Long tail search.
Yeah.
What do you mean by long tail search?
Right, so if you, in Google, a lot of people go for kind of really big hitting keywords. So you might be, again, if we stick with the digital camera example, you might be going for Sony digital camera. Yeah, a lot of people might optimize for that particular term. However, if you look at the buying cycle that someone goes through when they put in a keyword, so a lot of Google searches are information and research based before you actually get down to the part of the sales cycle where they're actually ready to buy. And you'll find when people are ready to buy, they'll know the make, the model, you know, down to, you know, the kind of price of that particular product. So when you get down to, you know, where people are kind of ready to buy, the keywords tend to be a lot longer. So they might go for, you know, Sony digital camera, Olympus, model number, and then under a certain price. And, you know, so that keyword could be up to 6 words long. And that's what's referred to as the long tail of search, because those searches do not get as many searches as, say, Sony digital camera, but they're still very, very valuable searches to have as part of your kind of keyword universe that you might be bidding on or optimizing for.
It's also a great, there's a book called The Long Tail about niche retail, essentially. I want to say it's by Malcolm Gladwell, but it's not by
Chris Anderson.
Chris Anderson. It's really worth reading, actually, for everyone. It's really interesting.
And just to, the term the long tail comes from what happens if you graph the popularity of the search terms, or of almost anything actually, you get this exponential curve, and that curve is like a tail, and that's where the term comes from.
That's right, yeah.
Yes, but in terms of songs, so for a record company, the #1 album might be selling 1 million units that week, but you've got down the other end and you've got Peter, Paul and Mary who are only selling 2 or 3. And you add Peter, Paul and Mary to Shakin' Stevens, to Gary Glitter, to everyone, the long tail of products adds up to more than the #1 album.
Can I just kindly add one more thing? A nice marriage between your website and your eBay shop is to write some good reviews, some trusted reviews, and again incorporate the long tail within those reviews, perhaps corresponding to some products on your website that are selling well, or you like to sell well and think, oh, fairly niche.
Okay, let's move on to another question. Let's try and hove off eBay if we can, onto the big bad net.